And so this scene is actually a great scene. So we have Skywalker, of course, Luke, Han, and 3PO, and then you have Leia, the Emperor, and Vader, and it is just really crazy. It's a crazy thing to see them like up against each other here, and have Leia be kind of dark side Leia right there. And then so she starts to have second thoughts, and so the Emperor just lights up Leia and Luke, and it's this, Leia and Luke are being consumed by this, and so Vader saves both of them, which is a cool moment. So Vader pulls the Emperor off of Leia and Luke, which is really kind of cool to see that happen. And then Leia and Luke are fighting together alongside each other, so that's really kind of a fun thing. But Leia's got a red blade, so it's kind of cool. So Yoda is on the Falcon still during this time, and Yoda does the coolest thing ever. Yoda takes the Death Star and plunges it into Coruscant. And Han says, "Man, that's some light show." You have to forgive me. I used to do a lot of Star Wars videos because I love Star Wars. I love it. But I haven't done any recently because it mostly depresses me. What was done to Luke was a travesty, a tragedy, a horrifying detriment to our society. It's been a complete, I mean, this is a catastrophe. It's a cinematic catastrophe. It's I'm sorry, but they're feminist socialists who want to destroy all men and everything that they ever created. So they want to destroy all they do. That's their narrative. They want to destroy all of Star Wars. They want it to be not profitable anymore. They want to destroy the very essence of it all, and they want to destroy anything created by a man. So they're just not thinking straight. It's going to actually create a lot more harm. They're selfish people who only care about themselves. Hey everybody, welcome to the Fanatics of Film, and my name is Ben. Just wanted to kind of quickly talk to you about some pretty cool comics. This is a cool comic that I got a few years ago. Unfortunately, I got it after the Disney transaction, acquisition, whatever you want to call it. It has the Disney logo on it. I actually, part of me wants to remove that, but it would just destroy the book. But anyway, it's called Star Wars Infinities. It's basically a what if Star Wars comic, and what it entails is the very first it's A New Hope, as normal, as written, almost pretty much exactly to a T, unlike the other galaxy adventure crap that Disney has tried to retcon, changing A New Hope with bull crap stuff going on there. But anyway, this is kind of a cool what if story. So what happens is that Luke misses the target, and as a result, the Death Star blows up Yavin 4. Incredible story. It's just weird how everything ends up going, because you have a few scattered ships. It's like the end of The Last Jedi, and so you have these, this is where of course they're able to get rebel base in range, and then Yavin 4 gets destroyed, and so you have just a few remnants of the rebels left over, and just scrambling. So Leia's on one of the random ships. They were able to scramble off of Yavin 4. Her ship was apprehended, and you've got Tarkin. So Tarkin is still alive, and Vader and Tarkin, and charming to the last. And what? Nothing rude to say, Your Highness. And this is a great kind of a cool moment right here. Han and Luke are just like, what the hell? What do we do? I mean, it's like no hope left. All the rebels have been destroyed, and it's just a crazy, crazy thing. They get in a fist fight. This is kind of crazy. Get into a fist fight, and Luke wants to finish his training, but there's no Obi-Wan. And so Obi-Wan shows up and like interrupts them and with Han there. So that's kind of funny. So Obi-Wan tells Han and Luke to both go to Dagobah. That's a really interesting part of the story. Kind of a cool thing here. Go to the Dagobah system. Dagobah system. That's how Mark Hamill said it. Dagobah system. And this is kind of a cool. It's gonna be interesting. This is an interesting shot here. It's the Death Star above Coruscant, which is a very interesting. That's a cool shot. I like that. And so here we are. This is a great scene. We have the Emperor and the Emperor and Leia and Vader all hanging out together. And he just basically is saying, no, my dear, you are to live a long life, fed and housed and cared for like a family pet. Perhaps I am not without sentiment after all. Take her away and begin her obedience training. I would speak with you, my friend. I sense a disturbance within you, apprentice. Have the fruits of your victory softened your resolve? No, master. It is a disturbance in the Force, I sense, but the source is unclear. So, obviously, that's Leia. Luke and Han end up in... Luke and Han and Chewie and R2 all end up at Dagobah. I think 3PO is there with him too. Is he? No, maybe he's not. So they all meet, and it's like Han and Luke are both hanging out with Yoda, which is kind of a funny thing here. And then you have Leia, being trained by Vader. Leia gets trained by Vader. It's really an incredible thing here. Really incredible, emotional stuff. Leia's outfit's pretty badass. It's a lot like Luke's. Well, it's an Empire type of outfit there. Very interesting. Luke trains with Yoda, of course, as usual. But he ends up spending, I think if I remember correctly, it's like 5 years. He ends up spending like 5 years with him. Your destiny is here, apprentice. Grown has your power, but at peace you are not. And so by this time, here we are. It's like 5 years later. Luke and Han are just like friends, but they barely met Leia. And so they had known Leia for like a day, like 24 hours maybe. I mean, that's what it seems like to me, because that's all it was. It was less than that, less than 24 hours, where they had saved her, went to the rebel base. She gets captured right after Yavin 4, right after Yavin 4 gets destroyed. So that's a really interesting part of this, is that Leia is missing from the equation. She's a different part of the equation. She's a different part of the story. Luke has the Vader experience in the cave as well, that Seth MacFarlane so interestingly described as being stopping the film dead in its tracks, which I can understand that. So here we are on Ord Mantell, and they're looking for stuff. But the other thing here that happens is really interesting. This is a really interesting scene. I mean, we have this is Coruscant, and it's like the Empire's marching, and look who's at the front of or at least at one of the towers, or one of the places where it's Leia. Leia's there, and she's just basking in the glory of the Empire. So, and Han has his own adventure with Chewie. Han and Chewie go off, and they're on Ord Mantell, and they do their other thing, and they try to recover some things. I can't remember exactly what they do, but they're doing some things. Luke ends up becoming this amazing kind of a badass Jedi working. He's just, this is him with the rocks. The missing rocks from The Force Awakens. But that's him on Dagobah. Luke and Yoda have become really close, and we see Luke in his all out, kind of badassness or whatever. And there's all these other things that are kind of coming about in his he's in a second a cave scene with Vader, And this is the second cave scene with Vader here. And so Han finally comes back to visit Luke, and and Luke's just kind of a Jedi Master. Again, this is 5 years later, 5 years after the Battle of Yavin. So it's like the entire arc of Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. All of this has happened just while Luke's on Dagobah the whole time. And so the truth of your father would have only increased your impatience, your anger. And so this is where so the reveal of who Luke's father is, it's revealed to him by Yoda. Yoda tells him, Vader is your father, and that's not. He still has his. That's not true. It's impossible. It still has that moment in there, which is kind of funny. It all depends on you, Luke. You are the last of the Jedi Knights, the only hope to overcome the tyranny of the Empire and the evil of the Sith. But more there is must tell you. Leia, your sister, she is. And so he finds out both things right immediately at once. And so we have this giant fleet at Coruscant, this huge fleet at Coruscant with the Death Star. Of course, Luke, Han, and 3PO. And then you have Leia, the Emperor, and Vader. And it is just really crazy. It's a crazy thing to see. It's like she's revealed, Leia is revealed that, oh, what, Luke's my brother? What? And Leia's just pissed that no one ever told her that Luke was her brother and all these things. And I think this is where she actually finds out that Vader's her father too. They all find out all these things at the same time in the same room. And then so she starts to have second thoughts, and so the Emperor just lights up Leia and Luke, and it's this, Leia and Luke are being consumed by this, and so Vader saves both of them, which is a cool moment. So Vader pulls the Emperor off of Leia and Luke, which is really kind of cool. Cool to see that happen. And then Leia and Luke are fighting together alongside each other, so that's really kind of a fun thing. But Leia's got a red blade, so it's kind of cool. Yoda does the coolest thing ever. Yoda takes the Death Star and plunges it into Coruscant. Please like this video and subscribe, share it, please. I'd love to have you on this channel more often. I'm going to be doing some more videos and probably doing some more of these Infinities videos if this does well. So hope you're having a great day. My name is Ben and this is the Fanatics of Film. Have a fantastic one. Take care.